Alright, so we have our 3v3 going. Hopefully Teal's able to load in properly. We avoided the lobby simulator again, so this is a win for HD. Okay, so we have the top three players. We have gray, we have green, and we have yellow as the barbarian players. We have Superlisko here in the yellow, we have Stoic Monk in the gray, and we have El Galio 117 in the green. And as you can see, most of the map actually belongs to the Romans. So you have teal, red, and purple in the as the Romans, and we have Al Alidine in the purple that will face off. Chances are against a Superlisko. We've got Pablo Duki 64 in the red, going up the middle. Probably going to be facing off against Stoic Monk, and we have Jushi in the teal. So hopefully, the game actually will not, lag out due to teal. So what's peculiar about this map is that you can't make units the same way as you normally would in game.
Yes.
So you have your villager spawn, and you also have to get, you actually spawn troops. Now, a lot of players are like, oh, well, that's great, I spawn troops, what do I need villagers for? But you need an economy to go ahead and build those troops. So usually if you don't have an army, you should check your food count to make sure that it is high. So there's a couple of thresholds that you do have to go ahead and get to go ahead and produce units. So you want to have over 1,000 food, 500 gold, and over about 800 wood to start making units. Your stone count is also very important because it also helps create some of the strong units. So for the Romans, you'll get some very impressive Roman cavalry, as well as the legionaries. For the barbarians, you'll be getting Tarkans, you'll be getting boyards, and you'll be getting those renamed Sunda warriors, or Sunda royal fighters, or something like that. Very strong infantry units. So what I should say about this map is that the barbarians have a very huge economic advantage, as they have each player has 30 more villagers than each of the Roman ones, so they have a 80 vil pop versus the 50 of the Romans. They also have more military space, so they can go up to 200 military population compared to the 120 for the Romans. So the main reason behind that is because it's a time map. So once this palisade here goes down and it's losing hit points 1 HP per in-game minute, so since we're playing on fast, you can see that this is going to go down every about 30 seconds. They'll lose 1 HP. So they do have a time limit to go ahead and kill the forum here in this wonderfully guarded Roman city. So of course, the timer is a little short, so what you want to do is you want to start killing things, especially with the Romans. So all of the bonus objectives down here, secondary objectives, will give a lot of bonuses for the
Yes.
barbarians, including extra time. There's a couple of extra bonuses, so like the fortress here in the middle of the map has a small chance of giving the players free legionaries every about 10 seconds or so. So as you can see, you have teal and red that just created one, and now everybody has 3. So this is a completely random chance, so some player can have like 8 and you can have like 2. It's fine. On the right side of the map, you have purple that has basically a Fedoria, and they're going to be making basically they're just going to give free food to the Roman players as long as this stays up. It also provides healing for their units and things like that. So that's definitely something that you want to defend if you're the Romans, and something that you want to kill with the barbarians. There is a small quest here that the Romans um, that the barbarians will get. And honestly, this is only for the yellow player. If they actually go near to the hermit, they'll be able to pay a fee of about 50 gold, and they'll be able to go ahead and clear this path to have easier access to this. Otherwise, you have to go all the way around, and you have to pass this very fortified Roman encampment. If you don't have the 50 gold, the hermit will still talk to you. He'll say that he needs about 350 gold, and he'll show you the way. So as we see now, we are looking at red player. So you can see that he started to make some units. and they're slowly coming in as you can see that his resources are above these thresholds. So as you can see, he's got quite a bit of gold, and then there's other bonuses that the Romans are going to get. So this mine, for example,
Yes.
as long as this outpost stays alive, will spawn mules. Now these mules, what's going to happen is they're going to go directly to the city. Once they actually get inside the middle of the city, right about here, they're going to give all the Roman players a little bit of gold and a little bit of stone. So it just helps your economy going, and they're free resources. So you might as well do. This taverna over here will
Yes.
spawn some merchants that will come over here at the flag, and they will also try to get all the way in the middle of town. So if those actually do come in, all the Roman players get 500 gold, which is rather significant. So if you're the barbarian players, you want to go ahead and make sure that that doesn't happen. So as you can see, Superlisko's already got quite a few units on this side of the map. A lot of infantry, a couple of cavalry units. So he's just going right to the again, right to the Fedoria. So he did pay the 350 gold price to go ahead and make it. And unfortunately, like as you can see, Purple actually ended up building a few houses to block the way. Hey Elm, how's it going? Nice to see you here. And I don't know what Teal is doing. I think he's maybe attacking the Romans. I don't know. I think it's weird. But anyways, maybe I should probably mention to the Roman players that they do have access to a university down here. I'm just going to go ahead and check really quickly if they were able to get any upgrades. And by that I mean the Imperial Age upgrades. So it doesn't look like they do. So every minute of the game, the Roman players have about 1% chance of getting either like the Imperial Age armor upgrades for all of their units, as well as chemistry and arrow slits. So if you get those, you can go ahead and get them. Well, probably before that. I don't know, maybe. It all depends on how Superlisko is doing. There's actually a hidden watchtower down here that you can't see, but it is shooting at his units, which is why it's important for Purple to kind of wall a little bit, at the very least. So he is building that house, and as you can see, these units, because they don't have any armor, and I'm just going to go ahead and check. Yeah, I mean, he did upgrade the Bodkin arrow upgrade, but he didn't upgrade to the guard tower to get the extra damage. So his units are just going to be slowly dying. You can see here I'm going to go and switch players, so we're going to go ahead and Stoic Monk. So as you can see, his resources are basically going all the way down to the thresholds, and he has quite a bit of an army already. So what I didn't mention is that, as you can see, the Barbarian players don't have cartography yet. And honestly, this thing over here will give them cartography if that monastery goes down. So usually what you want to do is you want to try to wall up as much as possible, but looks like, you know, the red player and green player are a little bit new at this, but this is good because usually Teal has a problem getting some units close by to go ahead and defend very quickly against the attacks of green. And it looks like green actually decided to go ahead and wall off, which is an interesting choice. And looks like he's not making enough food. So, alright, okay, so he did pass the threshold. He is just getting a boyard. I guess he's just getting all of his upgrades and things like that. So as you can see, he's just started creating some units. So he's going to go ahead and keep creating villagers and getting some extra units. Let's take a look here. So you've got the giant army of Grey that's coming down here. He should maybe probably get his blacksmith upgrades, as they do affect his units that are being created. And on the far right here, you'll see that the Fedoria is about to go down, and if it was lasted about 20 seconds longer, he would have gotten an extra, the Romans would have gotten extra food, but unfortunately, they will not. So, just short of getting their next food count, which would have helped them really make some extra units. So because of that, you can see here, I'll show you guys here, the palisade's actually been healed. So as you can see, like it started at 40, so it should have been at 23 by now, but it's actually been healed all the way up to 31. So it got about 8 minutes of extra time for just killing that one building. And basically that happens everywhere else. So as you can see here, we have purple that's trying to hold back the giant army here that is of yellow. And this is really important, that you need to go ahead and use as much defenses as you can to kind of hold them off. So you want to go ahead and make sure that your towers are doing as much damage as possible to thin out their armies. Try not to hit Huskar ulcers and things like that. So because he ended up killing the Fedoria here. So Superlisko was getting either petards or saboteurs. So he has a 50% chance of upgrading his petards to saboteurs, but unfortunately that didn't work out this way. House falling since AoE 1. Well, that was the original strat, because you can build walls and defending villagers that you couldn't garrison inside your TC. Yeah, was not great. So, let's see, where did Gray's army go? So Gray is actually just down here destroying the mining camp, I guess. Red sent a couple of villagers down this way, and, well, that's going to be cleared out very quickly. So I'm not sure where Red is going to be going with his army, but honestly, I would maybe ping that he has a university somewhere around here, so that he's able to go ahead and get, you know, his fortified walls upgrades and things like that. This is interesting. This is a play I haven't seen before. So you've got a couple of villagers coming down here for green. And I don't know what he's doing with them. He might be scouting. I have no idea. But Teal's got quite a large army down here. And he's just kind of sniping a couple of Gabitos for Teal, a couple of units here. So I guess, I don't know, maybe green is having a little trouble producing his army. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, so he's got a ton of wood, as you can see. He should be transitioning his a lot of woodcutters and gold miners to food, so he can go ahead and create more army. You can't build a market, and that's completely intentional because I don't want you to go ahead and keep getting some stone. But it is what it is. Superlisko is making quick work of this base. Probably should have maybe taken a look at that, but I mean, you can probably imagine what happened here. They just got overwhelmed, and now they're just basically just destroying the towers. So as soon as this goes down and the 2 guard towers here go down, the barbarians will be able to go ahead and grab the capped ram upgrade. So as you can see, they just have access to battering ram right now, but very soon they will be upgraded to a capped ram. So purple's down here. He's actually kind of walled off his own section down here, which is nice if he's able to hold it, but he will need a lot more units than that to go ahead and hold, which doesn't seem like he has too many of them. Yeah, because he's out of food at the moment, so he's basically just making, well, I mean, he is getting some. Alright, so Teal, I guess, got ambushed by Gray's roaming army, so that's great. Red's, I guess, is coming back to help, but I think he should maybe help Purple to defend against Yellow. Yeah, because, I mean, he did make a nice choke over here. Unfortunately, he's got nothing to kill those units with, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. And because he just switched all of his economy to food, as you can see by the massive amount of villagers that are on these berries, yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough. But thankfully, he's able to go ahead and claim this nice gold mine over here, hopefully before Yellow comes and denies it. So as you can see here, Yellow denied him his resources over here. So now it's Superlisko's gold mine at this point. And looks like Teal's doing really good. He's still getting a lot of skirmishers. I'm guessing just because he's missing gold a little bit. Let me take a look at what his economy. Yeah, so his food count is so low. Yeah, probably having a lot of idols here done on berries does not help. I'll just go ahead and message one of my friends that are playing on the Roman side. Alright, so basically I told him to go ahead and make more food so that way he gets more units. Because he's got plenty of everything else. Alright, so I guess I should have mentioned this, but there was a merchant that just walked in and gave everybody 500 gold, and there will be another one here, so I just want to go ahead and kind of show you what happens when when the merchant comes in. So you can check out the resources up here.
No.
And it's kind of awesome that there was just another merchant that came in. So these two are pretty close by, which gives like a very large influx of gold, which almost all the Roman units need to be created. I think only the skirmisher doesn't need any gold, but trust me, you don't want an army of Imperial skirms when they're just massing a lot of infantry. So as you can see, he's got about 6,000. Once that guy comes in, you'll get an extra 500. So it's good. Yeah, so Pablo's actually just offering to give people gold. I'm just wondering how he can do that considering there's no market in this game. So if he finds the way, I'd be very interested in finding out how. So as you can see right now, thankfully, Red has actually found out a way to upgrade his towers and walls, which means that Superlisko will take about maybe half a second more to get him. But as you can see, yeah, he's got quite the large army over here, and
Yes.
unfortunately, I don't. Well, Red might be able to go ahead and give him a fight underneath the castle, but again, Teal is probably also going to help over here. So yeah, let's check on the timer again because that might be the only hope of victory for the Romans, and they still need to hold for about 37 minutes, which is going to be quite a while for them. The cool part about this is that all the units that Superlisko is making should automatically be retasked, at least to the camp, and then over here, so that way, like when he's microing in the front, he doesn't have to worry too much about his economy and moving his units towards the front. They're going to do that themselves. And it's the same thing with the Roman players. As soon as a certain threshold is achieved, then that's what happens. So just because of the castles and the towers over here, it looks like maybe with the help of all the Roman players stopping him, he's actually going to go ahead and hold this, but at least one of the towers will go down. It's kind of important to keep your monk because it's very hard to get another one. You'll have to make your population under 25 to do so. And yeah. Thanks, Elm. So he predicted that the game is going to end in about 15 minutes in game time. So according to him, the game's almost over. We will kind of see. And it's kind of sad because really at this point only Superlisko is pushing, and they should be 3 Roman players to help defend this. And I may have spoken too soon about being able to hold that castle. It looks like they're taking everything that they can to go ahead and try to save it. And as you can see, there's some Petars out here in the front. So because Superlisko ended up taking this Roman camp, not only did he get Cap Bram, but most of his units got a +2 armor upgrade, as well as quite a bit of hit points. So right now, most of his units are very tanky, as you can see by these Royal Single Fighters, and you can see that these throwing axemen have more HP and more armor than they should normally. So it makes them very hard to go ahead and take them out. But once that happens, he'll be making units at the with the normal stats. See, these Centurions will do really well against basically any infantry, but again, these Tudor warriors are very, very strong. So it's going to be a really close call. I think that castle will eventually go down. Those Huskarls are way too tanky, and those Vitoes and throwing axemen are probably going unhindered. Oh my god. So purple is just saving. Oh my god. So red and purple are coming together to save that castle, albeit barely. Although if you look at what's coming, I'm just going to tell them good luck. But they do have extra stone, just because I guess all the mules that came in. Yeah. So if green was attacking and if gray was attacking, this might be a very different story. Oh, well, I guess. Sorry. I didn't take a look over here, but as you can see, gray is actually attacking down the middle, going up against red, so he might actually lose a gate to one of the fortress. But as you can see, this is rather hard to take as there's towers almost everywhere. And yeah, like basically the pathing is very, very bad because you do have to go up this small tiny ramp, and of course you've got the walls, you've got the gates, and if you put the rams in front, you can go out with infantry and that kind of thing. It's very, it's not easily done. However, when you pull back without killing the gate at 50 hit points, it gives red a chance to go ahead and repair it. So there we go. So we've got purple that ended up repairing the castle, which is really nice. They actually built a makeshift house wall in the front, which will definitely help them. Now Superlisko is just going around, just kind of doing his own thing, checking around to see what there is, what easy pick-offs there might be, and. Let's see, there's nothing down here, which is great. Yeah, so there's nobody defending on here at all. On Teal's side, completely. so I'm not sure what's going on over here, but they started farming in their base very quickly. So you'll see that they might run out of resources. But Superlisko is just looking for easy pickoffs. He's going to go ahead and give buffs to the other players and also gain extra time. So this army is going to make really quick work of these two towers. And just ignore the mule that's walking over there. It's fine. So once they're going to be able to do it, oh, well, no, it's going to make it because Goths don't get thumb ring, nor do they get ballistics because they can't go. Well, no, that donkey is not happening. All right. So yeah, as you can see, that the watchtower goes down really quickly. The monk's still alive on 15 hit points, and basically once this camp goes down, well, they're going to get not only extra time, but green should get extra resources. I have no idea what green and they're doing. So he has no food, which is why he's barely making any units. He doesn't have that many farms. I'm just going to go ahead and check out his economy. So he's got 13 farmers, 16 builders for some reason. What are they building exactly? But as you can see, he's got like 27,000 food, and he's not replenishing his farms. Let's take a look at Gray. So Gray is doing a little bit better. He only has 17,000 wood instead of 20. But as you can see, yeah, they are finally pushing into the fortress. And, oh, I guess green was here as well. I was wondering where his green is actually ended up going. But yeah, that castle, the fortress will eventually go down. And unfortunately, that will be the end of the Romans, I think, just because of the fact that it's going to give them like 15 extra minutes. So it's up to 45, and it's also going to give them quite a few nice bonuses. So, of course, I don't know why, but it's always elite Scythians that come out. Although it is a completely random chance, and I did see that it was other stuff, but it seems to be a lot of elite Scythians over here. And that is a very, very strong unit. As you can see, it's very tanky, very beefy, but he didn't get all of his armor upgrades. With the armor upgrades, it's actually kind of ridiculous to see what happens. And if he actually got... Yeah, I don't think he got any of his armor. He didn't get any upgrades on his units. But regardless, they're still very strong, as you can see. And yeah, he gained a lot of extra time by killing the fortress. So as you can see, the gates are removed from the back, and he's just clearing up the rest of the towers. So you can go ahead and help Superlisko push in the middle. Now, Superlisko is actually working from backwards, which is, I guess, nice. He's actually stopping all the reinforcements and killing all of the other places from the back, which shouldn't really happen from the Romans' perspective, but it is what it is. So, Elm, I just want to go ahead and point out that it's about 43 minutes now, and yeah, I don't think that the game's going to add 45 minutes.
Yes.
So you got to give the Romans a little bit more credit than that. Come on. So as you can see, there's a little bit of gold back here in the base, but what you want to do is you want to go ahead and take out the other ones, because once it runs out, well, you have to run all the way here to get some, and I don't think that's feasible with being the Romans once you actually start backing up. So the best way I like to do it is I kind of want to use almost a scorched earth strategy to make sure that you're taking out the resources as you lose them, not to give anything from the barbarians. Well, I mean, they did kind of take the fortress, which honestly is not an easy task, even if it's not defended very well. So you got to give them credit for that. Superlisko did stop the reinforcements, but you still get free legionaries, which can easily decimate the rams. And if you just have a little bit of micro with your towers, it's a little bit different. So anyways, Purple here's decided to go ahead and build his army of houses, and with the towers and castle, that should be reasonably defensible. But yeah, so as you can see here, Superlisko is just cleaning up house, and at some point there should be no problem. So, oh man, that poor donkey just walking right into that one Gabito, which is unfortunate, very unfortunate. What is he gonna raid? Oh, well. Looks like Gray's attacking. He's like, you know what? We've got enough force over here. Let's do it. Alright, so once the tower goes down, thinking maybe green gets that treb. Hoping so. It should be anyway. Yeah, there we go. So green gets a treb. They also get extra time. So as you can see, the palisade is quite healthy. It's got 51 minutes left before, and as you can see, Superlisko and Stoic Monk here is just battering down double walls down here, and the units are very busy. There's no way that they can actually walk out of here. So they created a nice choke point, thankfully, as it's the only way to kind of survive this barbarian horde coming in. And yeah, with the scorpions doing a little bit of damage, castle doing a little bit of damage. Tonic Knights are really nice. The cavalry units are very nice too. But if you don't take care of the range units, like the Gabitos, the throwing axemen, and the rat archers, basically your army will go down very, very quickly. Basically on an infantry fight, the Romans will win every time, but if you let them mass like those range units, your infantry will go down very quickly, and just due to the mass, you will end up losing your units. So yeah, so Green's ended up getting his treb, which you find out. It is the one treb that he actually gets, so he should probably go ahead and defend that. Yeah, the things are in motion. Yes, that is true. Who now can stand between the might of, yellow and gray, and the union of the two barbarian tribes? So as you can see, like the Roman units, not that many left, considering that there are all three of them there. Gray's just literally just walking in underneath the tower. He's like, yeah, I got this, don't worry. Superlisko is also making another breach down here. I'm not sure that the ram will survive, but, it's a good try. As soon as, Gray decides to go ahead and hit those towers, yeah, all the economy that's down here for purple, also for, all the mining here for the gold. But as you can see, I'll go ahead and switch. Because they had, the left side of the map for so long, they are able to get so many units. So finally, Green ended up getting a lot of food, so he's getting a lot of armies, so he can go ahead and push on the camp over here. So as you can see, his troops are finally making his way down. Oh, never mind, those are villagers, but his troops are still coming down here. And he'll finally put some pressure on Teal on this side. I mean, not that the Romans are doing so well already, but that'll just add an extra point of pressure, and with the treb, it's not maybe something that they can ignore right away. So Gray's coming down here. I think that this spot right here behind the monastery is probably the one that you want to go ahead and hit, just because there's a lot of landing space over here. The other places, you've got water, you've got bushes and trees and things like that that are in the way. So this will make a nice hole in the wall, and you'll be able to go ahead and just make it. So of course purple is just walling right behind us with extra house walls. Obviously he's seen this coming, he's played this map a few times, so he knows what's coming. And the idea is to make it almost impossible for them to go ahead and hit the forum, delaying them by any means necessary. But fortunately, if you look at the time, they have to hold for another hour. So, I don't think that they're going to be able to do that right away, especially considering that there's almost nothing that's going to stop them from doing this. So, as you can see, the red gate here is going to go down very quickly. There's a treb just trebbing it down. You've got 3 rams, and they're unopposed. And that castle is not even firing because it's out of range. And yeah. So, I mean, they did ended up pushing back Superlisko's attack for now. But I mean, Gray still has his really strong units. So as you can see, these elite Scythians are going to just make quick work of whatever they have. But they're the only ones that he gets, so any deaths from them or any kills that the Romans are able to get on those units is great. So it looks like they're able to kind of push them back, just overwhelm them with a little bit of units that they were able to build up. And they're trying to rear wall as quickly as possible to make sure that they stay away. Unfortunately, because there's no units down here anymore, the castle is actually in grave danger to go down. But hopefully, you can do a little bit of damage before that happens. That way, I mean, Teal is technically here, but it looks like Green's actually walked his way in, and he's going to be disturbing the economy of Teal and Red. So I don't foresee the game going too much longer at this point, but you never know. So again, as you can see, those units got an extra buffs. 2 extra buffs actually, so they're actually very, very strong with like +6 armor, which means that those watchtowers basically do nothing to them. And of course, there you go, you've got Superlisko just, you know, hammering down on vills. Those poor Roman villagers, what did they ever do? And yeah, the gate's gonna go down. That house is gonna go down really quickly right after the gate. And yeah, so once they're on this side, as you can see, the Romans are kind of squished into their corner, and there's not much that they can do. So there we go. So the castle here finally goes down. A couple of towers down here will also go down. As you can see, the house wall was rebuilt here, trying to keep some of these towers alive. And Superlisko is already claiming this mine, as, yeah, he still has quite a bit of gold up here, but, I mean, he has time, he has the villager count, he can do whatever he wants. That tribe is just over here. Those rams went down, I think, just because of some of the archers that they had, scorpions and things. So yeah, all of these villas are going down, all of these towers are going down. There's no economy down here anyway. So Pablo's asking for the time, but all the players can see this up here at the top. So you can see that there's 54 minutes left, and there's almost no way that this is going to happen. The amphitheater doesn't actually give you anything, it's just a nice building that I put in there, because why not? It's Rome. They gotta have their democracy, right? And yeah, they're just building house walls on things. But as you can see, the inner defenses here, it's basically just a wall. There's not a lot of towers to defend this. There's 2 towers on the gate. There's 2 towers here, but you know, it's basically almost nothing. Yeah, that tribe is eventually just gonna. I'm not sure why it's attacking the tower. It should attack like a way in, just to storm the units. Because right now, as you can see, there's not many units for any of the Roman players. There you go. It's even better because they got stuck behind a lumber camp. Pathing is real. So yeah, don't build a lumber camp here. As you can see, it blocks all of the units from passing, so they don't get the reinforcements to go here. But I'm assuming that they will need their units. So Superlisko is just nonchalantly taking out the gate. And green and gray are just waiting to pounce in once the gate is open. That house is going to go down very quickly. And yeah, Elite Scythian is just really hard to kill. Just so much HP. And they also regenerate, which, you know, you don't even need a monk to do that, which is nice. And voila. So now they're in. They can go ahead and fight the Roman units that are basically the last defensive point at this stage of the game. And if there's no house wall, they can literally waltz right in, destroy the economy, and that's going to be it. So I'm pretty sure Red is listening to the stream because he ended up deleting the lumber camp and freeing all of those units. As you can see, the units that were down here, they're able to go and be free to go ahead and, you know, march to their deaths. Green, on the other hand, is pushing nicely. He's got the tread. Teal is just building a lot of houses just to, you know, delay the inevitable. Yeah, follow the Roman Empire is real, guys. Let's see how much time that they have just to, you know, 50 minutes. They have to hold for another 50 minutes, and I don't see how they're going to be able to do that, considering that, you know, the barbarian players are just replenishing their army. And Gray's, I'm surprised he actually got anything done with literally no upgrades. The only reason why he's got a +2 is because one of the buildings down here gives him Blast Furnace, which is the only reason why he gets a +2 on his upgrades. So Superlisko and Gray just walked in. I think Green just did as well. They're just basically, they can probably just attack move the entire thing and not even care. But yeah, looks like Green's just going to push in with the trap. They've got nothing to go ahead and stop that at this point. And yeah, I'm surprised that there's even any economy. So Gray just ended up taking this mine over here, defending it slightly. Green ended up taking this one, as well as these. So he's mining, I'm sure, quite more gold than he needs. But it's fine. So as you can see, the castles, the house walls are real. But yeah, the barbarians are just slowly pushing. There you go, Elm. That's what I wanted to see. They have your respect. So when you're facing Superlisko, anything past like an hour is awesome. Yeah, it would have gone a lot smoother if the Barbarian players were a little bit better, but it's very hard to defend against Superlisko because he knows exactly this map by heart. He helped me test it. Still a little bit salty that I removed the dock options for him, but I mean, you're not supposed to technically have any dock options in this game, but it is what it is. It's nice to have people to try to break your maps. Tells you what you can and can't do. So as you can see, the house walls are slowly going down. That castle is going. Yeah, that's true, Elm. That's true. And I don't know, but we'll see if I don't know if you're up for the Fall of a Kingdom map. Next, I will be hosting that, I believe, next. Let's see what happens. Alright, so as you can see, these villagers are just dying, but they're just coming right back. And then they're being slaughtered once more. It's a vicious cycle. And one castle goes down, the next one's going to go in, and all they need to do to win is to kill this this forum, this palace over here. And there's just no way that they're going to stop this Barbarian Invasion. You've got the the call of the GG's happening. At this point, it was probably done about 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They're just holding on for, you know, because they're Romans, they fight to the death. But to be fair, there's nothing else left for them to kill on the map, so if they actually were able to last, let's say, the 45 minutes, there's no way the Barbarians can get extra time. Usually the fortress is like the last thing standing. It's very difficult to kill, but not here, not today. So it looks like it's a Barbarian win, a Superlisko win. So great game, guys.